Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through chair yoga. We will practice together for 30 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches that we work with do not work for your body, please skip them. You can come on out and you can modify. For today's practice, you'll want to have a chair to practice in. We'll be doing a variety of seated and standing stretches, so if you need to adjust your screen, please do so. And today's practice will be a wonderful practice for the full body. We'll work on relaxing the mind, relaxing the body, increasing flexibility, and working with mobility. To get started, let's find a comfortable seated position. You may want to move towards the edge of your seat, and that will just help you to engage your core, to elongate your spine a little bit here. We'll just take some time, try to feel your feet grounded and planted down. Feel your heels in line with your knees. Feel your knees in line with your hips. And then also feel that your shoulders are stacked over the hips. If it feels comfortable, you can close the eyes. We'll just start to drop into our breath. Take deep, full breath in through the nose. Deep, full breath out through the nose. And then as you settle into this breathing technique, seeing if you can find length, if you can lengthen the inhale a little bit more, and lengthen the exhale a little bit more. If you'd like, you can set an intention for class. An intention can be anything. It may be a goal, a desire that you have, maybe the reason why you came to class today. Maybe you want to get back to yourself, practice self-care, take some time for yourself out of the day. Maybe you're holding tension in the body and you want to melt that away with breath and with movements. We'll start with a little flow to release tension in the neck. When you're ready, let's take our chin to our chest. Allow for the head to hang heavy like the weight. And then gently relaxing the head back, float the gaze up. And chin to chest. Head hangs heavy. And then gently float the head back. And then let's just flow with the breath here for a moment. So we'll just give this stretch a try, taking this opportunity to increase the circulation and the blood flow to the neck. And then as you return to a neutral neck, let's gently bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Breath will take you through center. Exhale. Let's take left to left. And then we'll just flow side to side here. And with each exhale, just melt away tension you might be holding onto in the neck. And then also, as we're at the beginning of the practice today, maybe just notice in your own body how movement feels, how your body feels. So maybe as you do this, a lot of stretching comes up, maybe a little bit. And as you return to center, we'll take a nice full breath here to lengthen, and we'll work with some twists of our neck. Gaze off the right shoulder. Return back to center to lengthen. Gaze off the left. We'll flow with the breath, side to side. So as best as you can, try to lengthen as you breathe in, lengthen as you breathe out. And then bringing ourselves back through to center. We are going to circle the head. So maybe imagine there was a clock in front of you. You want to run your nose through the numbers of the clock. I'm just going to work this nice rotation here. And reverse. We will flow in the other direction. And really try to smooth that circle out. So there might be spots that feel a little bit stuck or maybe a little tender. Just seeing if you can make your way through those, smooth it out. I'm going to bring ourselves back to neutral. Let's interlock our fingers. We're gonna work on a little back bend here. So we're gonna press those hands up, palms are facing up. Heart will come forward. Let's try for our back bend. And then we'll take our chin to our chest. We will round our back. We're flipping our palms towards our face, rounding the back body. And then heart will flip forward. We're gonna flip those palms up. Relax your shoulders from your ears. And let's go a few more times here. You can take this one at your own pace, moving with your own breath. So linking breath, linking movement has a really nice way of calming the nervous system, helping us drop into the present moment. And then when those hands reach to the sky, let's all meet there. We have our fingers interlocking. We have our palms pressing up. Nice big breath here. Let's sweep our hands off to the right. And we'll sweep our hands off to the left. Just go for a little flow here, side to side. So nice opportunity to warm the spine out, getting into the side of the body a bit. Let's meet on the right. So we'll gently relax those hands to the right, pausing. Imagining that there was this object that you could arc your body over. Breath will take you through center. Let's float off towards the left. See if you can bring awareness to your hips. You might feel that your right hip will jut forward. Pull your right hip back. And maybe feel that left hip draw forward just a little bit more. Let's float ourselves back to center. Nice big inhale here. Hands will release to the right. We're going to land in a seated spinal twist. Breath will take you through center. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, let's float to the left. Side to side here with the breath. So on your inhale, see if you can lengthen your spine. On the exhale, see if you can deepen your twist. And if you wanted, sometimes grabbing onto the chair will draw you a little deeper. You can hold on, give yourself a little pull back. And then once you release to the right, let's take a moment to pause in this one. So hands will release to the right. Maybe grab onto that chair. We're going to take a nice big inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper here. Hands will return back on up. Big breath here. Releasing off towards the left. Gaze off the left shoulder. Just noticing if that helps you move a little bit deeper into the twist. Let's take ourselves back on up to center. Make a just big inhale here. Exhale, hands come down, and we'll just circle the torso a bit just to bring all of those movements of our spine together. So just take that out. Maybe close the eyes. Just gently rock the weight around the body. So shifting to the right, shifting to the back, shifting to the left, and then taking that movement forward. We will reverse. We will flow in the other direction. And then as you circle here, feel your body reacting to the movement as you shift your weight off to the right. Maybe feel the left sitting bone and the leg lifting up and lifting off of the ground. We'll take ourselves back through to center. Let's take some time to work with our seated sun salutations. We'll start by breathing in. We'll sweep our hands up. And then as you exhale, we'll dive ourselves down. We'll take hands onto the backs of the legs. We will lift the spine and lengthen, so a little bit of a back bend. We'll round the back body and then take a breath in. Let's bring it back on up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's take an inhale. Hands reach up and stretch up. We're going to exhale, float ourselves into our fold. Hands onto the backs of legs, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's root down to rise up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. So let's try that again. I'd love to just cue the breath because this is a really nice opportunity to move with your breath, really get that breath to movement feeling. So inhale, think of your body just getting bigger, expanding, and exhales, we typically contract a little bit. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's go one more time here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Great job on those. Let's take some time to work with our hips. So let's come towards the edge of your seat just so you have a little bit of space to work here. And we're going to bring our right knee into our chest and into our stomach. And we are going to circle out that knee a little bit here. So maybe finding large circles or smaller circles. And then we will reverse. We will flow in the other direction. We'll take an opportunity to pause. We're going to pull that knee into our stomach and into the chest. Try to hug those arms into the body. Let your elbows run straight back and let your shoulders relax from your ears. We will lighten up with the stretch a little bit. And this time, let's try to avoid our stomach and our rib cage. We're just pulling that knee towards the underarm. So we're just going to use a little bit of that arm strength, a little bit of that shoulder strength to draw the leg in. And then we'll take our right leg. Let's cross it up and over. We'll get even here in the sitting bones. Feel free to lift up, shift around a little bit if you need to. Let's take a big inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, we'll just dive and fold down. Maybe reach for opposite hands underneath your body. Maybe reach for opposite elbows. And we'll just take some time here just to close the eyes. Try to relax the eyebrows, relax the jaw. Try to relax the back of the head, the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Relax the upper, mid, and low back. And relax through the legs. Relax through the feet. We'll come on up. Let's realign the spine. Let's take a big inhale here. We'll twist off to the left. So we're going to try for an open twist. See if you can gaze off your left shoulder and just noticing if that helps you move a little deeper into the twist. Breath will take you back through center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. The inhalation, feel your spine lengthening. Exhalation, feel the twist deepening. We'll take ourselves back to center. Inhale, hands sweep up. Exhale, hands come down. We'll take right foot to meet the left. And then left knee comes up and in when you're ready. We are going to find our circles here. Maybe as you flow through the stretches on this side of the body, noticing if the stretch feels very similar, maybe feels very different from one side to the next side. Reverse, we will flow in the other direction. And we'll take a time to pause. Let's bring that knee right up into our chest and into our stomach. See if you can really engage the core here. Let the tailbone tuck slightly. Feel the navel move back and up towards the spine a little bit. We'll lighten up on the stretch. Let's try to avoid our stomach, avoid the rib cage, and then pulling that knee towards the underarm. Maybe feel a little pressure in the hip joint. Nice opportunity to stretch the hip. Nice stretch for the low back and for the leg. Releasing. Let's float our left leg up and over, and we'll get nice and grounded evenly on the right and left sitting bone. You can lengthen your spine as you inhale. As you exhale, we'll do a fold forward. And then as you relax here into the stretch, take time to connect with your breath. You might feel the breath a little constricted with the stomach pressing on the legs. So maybe focus on the breathing through the back of the body. Breathe into the low back, into the sides of the low back. Breathe into the ribs, into the sides of the ribs. Breathe into the back of the heart. And then we'll come back on up to center. Let's roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, hands reach up, stretch up. Exhale, let's twist to the right. See if you can broaden the collarbones, open the space at the heart. Inhale, let's take ourselves back to center. Exhale, we'll float the hands to the left. Relax that left shoulder from the left ear. Open the chest, open the heart. Inhale, let's take ourselves back to center. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Let's release that left foot down and we'll come up to standing. We'll try some standing stretches out. So as you come to stand, let's grab our chair and we're gonna send our chair to the left and you'll wanna be able to access the top of the chair. So I'm gonna try out a little balanced pose here. Let's start by bringing our feet in line with our hips. We'll have our toes pointing straight forward. Nice strong foundation here. And let's work with our tree pose. So for a tree, if you have your shoes on, you may want to just have that foot hovering. If it's easy to kick the shoes off, you can do that. Or if you're barefoot already, that's perfect. So we're gonna have our toes on the ground and then our foot can be on our lower foot there, our ankle area. And if you wanted to hop the foot up, you could. We do want to avoid putting pressure on the knee joint. So just have your foot above or below the knee. And if you feel comfortable not using the chair, maybe grow some branches. And our trick with balancing is to find a spot to focus on. We call that our drishti in yoga. So one spot to focus concentration, to focus awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eye shift at all. We can release through the arms. We'll do a little reset on our feet. And then chair, let's send that off to the right. We'll get nice and grounded in our feet here. And then when you're ready, left leg lifts up. And maybe growing those branches. Try to get nice and grounded through all the parts of your right foot. We'll press through the inside, through the outside, and then noticing your body's natural tendency. Do you tend to roll to the inside of the foot? Do you tend to roll to the outside of the foot? And then we'll let that one go. Hands relax, legs relax. Let's give it a little shake on out. We'll take a down dog using the back of the chair. So for this one, not a lot of weight in the hands. You really want to bring the weight back into your heels. So we're just going to give ourselves a nice little stretch here. Try to move the weight back into your heels. Allow for the toes to be light. And we're going to breathe here to stretch through the backs of the legs. Lengthen through your low back. Stretch through the shoulders. And then you can stay here. If you wanted to try out a different variation, we can work with the wide leg down dog. So you're just going to take your legs out nice and wide. And then similar feeling, not a lot of weight in the hands. The weight will be back in your heels. The toes can be light. Also feeling like your hands could just lift right off of the chair. And then we will release. We're going to come on out of this one. So walk the feet together, then walk your feet in towards your chair. We will roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Let's give a nice little roll out of the shoulders. And then we're going to take our chair and we'll want to use our seat for this next stretch. Let's take time to square the body up to our chair. I'm going to take an inhale, reach and stretch up. And then on your exhale, let's fold ourselves down. Hands will be on the seats. And we are just going to shake out the legs a little bit here. We can bend one knee and the other. Maybe shake and relax the head, yes. And shake and relax the head, no. And then as you find stillness here, let's walk our hands to the right. We'll try for a little side stretch here. Try to ground evenly through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. Back through to center, hands to the other side. Reaching, stretching through the weights, lengthening through side body, arm, and fingertips. We'll take ourselves back through to center. Let's lower the stomach down. We will lift up through the heart. A little rounding of the back body. Let's bring it to stand. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now with our chair to the left, let's take our left foot and step it close to the chair. You could even step it underneath it. We'll take a nice big step back with our right foot. Arms will come out into a T position. Hips will go back. Hands reach and stretch forward. Lowering the hand down, and we'll go into our triangle pose here. Imagining if you could feel your body in between two panes of glass. So we don't want to feel this right shoulder leaning forward too much. We want to get this nice stacking and opening of shoulders in one line, hips are in one line. And feel free to stay here. So many benefits to triangle. If you wanted to add a little bit more challenge, you might want to pull that right or that left foot back a little bit. And we're going to play with a balancing pose here. So we can lift up that right leg. And you want to flex your right foot. So those right toes are pointing off to the right side of the room. Getting that nice opening and stacking through your hips. And we'll release. It's coming up to standing. And we're going to take our chair, we're going to send it off to the right to give triangle pose a try on the second side. So let's step that right foot underneath the chair. Front heel lines up with back arch, shoulders over hips. Let's kick those hips back, hands reach, stretch forward. Lowering the hand down. Breathing here. And we all experience each pose very differently. So just noticing in your own body where you feel that stretch, what that feels like, breathing into it. Option to stay right where you're at, maybe pulling that right foot back. We're going to lift that left leg up when you're ready. And just to have proper alignment with the right foot, you may want to gaze down to your right foot and just make sure that your toes are nice and straight. So a lot of times those toes will turn in or out a little bit. So just get that really nice alignment for the body. We can gently come on out when you're ready. Feel free to give it a little shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Feet are in line with hips. Big breath in, hands reach and stretch up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope that you enjoyed today's practice for the full body. Please leave me any comments or feedback in the chat below. I look forward to being back with you on Monday. We have yoga on the yoga mat at 5:30 Eastern time. So that's 45 minutes of stretching on the mat. I'm also here on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Eastern time for mindful stretch. We do 15 minutes of stretching on the mat. I hope that you have a beautiful day today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.